Hi guys, this is the Audiofool, and for today we're going to review the Name Audio Integrated Amplifier 5SI. If you were unfortunate enough to watch my Name Atom review, you'd recall that the sound of the Name Atom was quite decent, but I felt that it was just a little bit overpriced for what you were getting. Well, this 5SI is a bit cheaper, but also more Spartan, so let's see what it's worth and compare to the Shit Ragnarok and Shit Aegir. But before that, let's take a closer look. Well, here's a no frills integrated amp. Out with the sexy name Atom looks, but you do save $1,000. You have that signature name volume knob on the left, rubbery plasticky input buttons on the right. The center does have that cool green name logo that lights up, as well as the headphone jack off center. At the back, you have banana plugs for speakers, so bare wires are out, and you might need to check if your banana plugs are 4mm. 4 inputs with 2 alternative DIN snake inputs for CD and tuner should you have other name components. First, we compared to the Ragnarok using the KEF LS50s, and I completely preferred the Rag 1 over the 5SI. Bass is not a problem, as it's only a little bit less grippy than the Rag, and it's actually a little bit louder. Vocals are not bad as well, sounds a little bit raw, but also a little bit more forward compared to the Rag. Soundstage does have less depth, and so instruments aren't as easily separated. But my main issue with the name is that it feels like all the sounds, instruments, vocals are all too forward and seem to be competing with each other to be at the front, so I'm struggling to hear subtle details. It's still there, it's just a bit harder to hear, while the Rag reveals all so effortlessly. The Ragnarok comes off less shouty, less sibilant, less shrill, and sounding much cleaner and punchier at the same time. Keep in mind though that this is listening back to back against the Ragnarok, and when I was playing the name on its own, just to get used to the sound, it didn't really come off as such. It's a very exciting amp, and it's a very fun listen for sure. It also reminded me a lot of the Rega Elix R that I recently reviewed, with the Rega probably coming in between the Ragnarok and the name in terms of fun factor. So yeah, the name is probably one of the most fun amplifiers I've heard in a long time. Next, we compared the Shit Aegir with the Shit Freya Plus as the preamp, this time using the Tecton Impact monitors. And similar to the Rag, I also preferred the Aegir for all my test tracks, and again, the name sounds a little bit raw in comparison. The bass is much louder in the name though, but the Aegir has a lot more bass textures. The Aegir also has better depth in terms of soundstage and very easily separates every instrument, giving out better definition and tone. Vocals are more shouty and honky in the name, and yet not as rich or deep as the Aegir. There's a lot more ongoings that you can hear in the Aegir, minute details, small shifts in volume that I can't really track with the name unless I'm really concentrating and looking for it. But of course, these doesn't really matter if you're listening to new songs or having a party, because that's what you'll be doing with the 5SI. The name is quite dynamic, giving massive attack to each beat, to each note, making it feel like you're listening to very speedy yet clockwork rhythm, which no doubt some audiophiles will be fans of. I'm not sure if it's possible to be too dynamic though, but I kinda feel that way since I find their sound to be a bit aggressive and drowns out micro dynamics as a result. Still, my complaint is subjective, as I do prefer listening to details rather than excitement. What I like the most about the name 5SI is definitely that fun and exciting sound signature. It's a type of sound which makes you lose concentration on whatever you're doing and just have fun with the beat. There's also that in your face music. Vocals are forward, instruments are forward, everything is forward. And the bass is quite decent too. Bass is quite loud and grip enough to be satisfying. What I don't like about the name 5SI is that it's a bit aggressive and it's a lot harder to hear micro details since every sound seems to be competing with each other. So I would say it's probably not the best amplifier to use if you want to do analytical listening or if you listen to a lot of orchestra or music with lots of instruments. But it could be the amplifier for you if you like to headbang or Old Town Road. What I hate about the name 5SI is that, well, I actually have lots of fun with it using the Dirty Weekends and the Bauer 606. But what I can't stomach is the SRP at $2,000 or £1,100. It's a bit more than the Riga LXR, and while it's still arguably more fun than the Riga, I'd say go with the Riga and save a few bucks and get a lot more refinement along the way. Or if you can live with 20 watts, you can actually go with the Shit Ager and Sag S combo, and you get a lot more refinement than either. So unless you really like the sound signature of name, I don't really recommend going with the name 5SI because I've been audibled. Name sound, main price. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any comments or suggestions, just write them down below. See you in the next video.